Hello and thanks for checking out the video. This is Aaron with AW Development, and today I wanted to talk for just a few minutes about one of my projects that I have been working on and just pushed a pretty big update to. And if you haven't figured out which one it is quite yet, it's RydersWorld here. And so I'm going to talk about some of the new things that I've added and just do a really brief overview of all the different features and how they work. So let's go ahead and dive right in. And first thing you're going to notice is that you have to sign in. Basically, in order to access the stuff in here, you not only have to create an account, but I have to approve it as well. And that is on purpose because I don't need a bunch of random people I don't know going through all of my son and I's most prized and precious memories. So yeah, once you do that, you can just click the little sign in button, create the account. Pretty standard, just an email, password. And okay, now that we're signed in, we can see we have a whole bunch of links that have populated up on the top here, and some buttons that also have populated on the cards representing the different parts and pieces of the app. So you can click on either. Events, view all events, they go to the same place. For the most part, it's just there for ease of use for different users and for Ryder to get familiar with different ways to access information. So we can talk about all of these different parts and pieces in this video, but I want to start at the top with some of the more basic core features that were implemented and where that all started. So talking about events and gallery, these are sort of these hold hands, if you will. We have like the events calendar, which if you make this just a little bigger, you can see still working on a few little front end things with it, but it's a whole calendar that's going to have a whole bunch of events on it. So I don't have anything for February quite yet, but we can go back a month and we can see basically all these different events for January are going to populate onto the calendar as pictures, and he can click into each individual one and learn some more information about whatever day it was. Later on, we can attach some different videos or whatever as we continue to develop the app. But for now, this is going to be awesome as he continues to learn more about dates and times to really just get a calendar sort of figured out. So again, I've gone through and tried to have at least a couple of events each month going back all the way to as far as he was born. So next, let's talk about the gallery and sort of how it correlates to these events here. I'm going to go right over to this page that's already loaded, and you can see there's a whole bunch of different pictures that are on that calendar in different months depending on when they happen. So things like movies we went to, birthday parties for friends, some camping stuff. We did a trip to Arizona, so this is like a whole board full of different stuff that we did while we were there that I put together for him when we were done with that. So really fun, different way to sort of access the same information, but a lot easier to access more of the images at once. So okay, next we can talk for half a second about tasks, because everybody knows how a task manager works, or at least they should, and I'm not going to teach you anything in this video that's built for my 5-year-old. Okay, I'm going to skip the next 3 R words here because this is the sort of bread and butter of our most recent 1.3 update, and I'm going to talk about that last. So we're going to skip those for now, move on to docs, documentation. This is sort of an extensive list of all of the different features that we have right now and how they work together in the app. Great for somebody that's a viewer, wants to understand a little bit more about this particular section, maybe the gallery or the rules or whatever. So they can use the documentation here to do that. And I can also go back in 6 months and try to read about stuff that we built with ChatGPT and understand how it works. Sort of. So next we've got new stuff, docs admin, and then finally feedback. This is all sort of admin related stuff at the moment. Feedback, just talk about for half a second. This is just what we use to sort of, if we identify something that needs to change, something that needs to be better about the app, we just submit this form with some more information about what needs to change. Yeah. So finally, let's talk about the rules, the report cards, and the rewards. My favorite part of this video and what I've been waiting to talk about from the time I turned the camera on. So first, let's jump into rules. This is stuff that a 5-year-old should be able to follow. So we have 5 rules that we are going to be checking in about daily right now. these are all pretty standard things that 5-year-olds need to work on. No hitting, slamming, or other violence towards humans or other things. Reporting accidents immediately, whether they're in the pants or out of the pants. We've got no running in the house, no screaming, yelling, or otherwise being loud while inside, and then we're going to complete one task per day. And as you would probably imagine, that task does correlate to the tasks manager in this app as well. So these rules are pretty, I would say, difficult for a 5-year-old to follow every single day, but they are possible. And when there's a little bit of incentive involved, I think they're a lot easier to follow. So we do have some other pause rules. We can add or subtract different rules that we want to, depending on what we're doing with our day. So like if we're going to go shopping, we might swap out like a completed task per day for these 2 shopping rules and maybe get him a couple extra points if he does good. But for the most part, we're going to stick to 5 rules a day. Pretty easy for him to kind of go back to core things he needs to work on. So, okay, so now that we understand how rules work within the app, let's talk for a minute about how to convert those into points that can be redeemed for some rewards. And how we do that is through a report card that is generated daily based on how we do. So towards the end of the day, every day, we're going to go through here and basically grade all of the different rules that we were supposed to follow in terms of what we're tracking anyways, and see how we did. So we've got 3 different, or 4 really, but 3 that we're going to use with any level of regularity. NA is going to be reserved for very special occasions, if you catch my drift, but for the most part, we're always going to get at least a point, even if we do need some work, because we're 5 and we're doing the best we can. So once we grade these, we can kind of go through and add any notes that we want to. I would like to say that most of these are going to be okay for the most part. Once we have that, we can sort of add these up here. So 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15 for a perfect score, because we have 5 total rules that we were tracking. So we get all 15 points. We can create that report card, and then from there we can go to the reward screen and we can see that we have 15 points banked now, and 26 earned all time, and 11 that we spent yesterday for the rewards that we bought with our points. So now we can take our bank points 15 and buy some different things for the day, if you will. If we want a bedtime movie, we could do like an hour of Switch. We could do pretty much everything at the moment. And then I'm going to go through and add some different other rewards to choose from as time goes on. So yeah, that's pretty much the ins and outs of RydersWorld, at least for the moment. Appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this, and
And I'll get away his car.
yeah, that's right.